Fox8 Backyard, and we are here with AJ Petitti, so he's going to give us an update on how the garden's doing. What's up?
So the garden is amazing.
Yes.
And then this morning, we found some very interesting little new friends that you want to pay attention to.
Okay.
And also, you want to take care of as early as you can. So these are sumac, so they're wild sumac, kind of basically a weed. But these little black and white spotted bugs. So these are spotted lanternfly nymphs. This is actually the first time I've ever seen them. You know, it's a new insect, and they're highly invasive and very destructive. So this is it's an insecticide. It's a pyrethrin, and basically just make sure that you spray these guys.
Okay.
And this will help keep the spotted lanternfly population
and it'll just
at bay.
kill them instantly, huh?
And so just make sure that you get all around, as whenever you see them. This will work on contact, so it doesn't get in the plant system. So if you are spraying it around a vegetable garden, just make sure you wash everything off really well after you spray it. But getting rid of the spotted lanternfly population is really important.
Bad lanternflies.
Yeah,
they're
really destructive, especially in Geneva, to the grape population, to apples, to oaks, to maples. It's kind of a nasty invasive bug.
Okay.
And then aside from that, you just want to harvest. So this is dill. It's starting to go to flower a little bit. You don't want that to happen. So make sure that you keep your parsley, your dill, your basil, anything that's going to go to flower. You want to make sure, cilantro especially, even if you don't use it, keep trimming it. And there's
so
ways
who do we
to
need
freeze
to
it.
fire here for not harvesting?
Me. So
actually, I was going to blame it.
I'll fall on that sword.
Okay, but other than that, it looks good in there?
Oh, we're doing great.
Okay.
So zucchini, you want to get a little bit of copper fungicide. It's starting to get a little touch of powdery mildew on there.
Yeah.
And then we're starting to get all kinds of little baby zucchinis. And so depending on how you like your zucchini, if you're making zucchini bread, nice big zucchini.
Yeah.
If you like just sauteing them, or like a nice, more delicate in a pasta, like when they're babies, they're beautiful to harvest and enjoy. And then the blossoms are really great. So you can stuff the blossoms. You can do all kinds of great stuff. The peppers are doing great. The cucumbers are gone. The gopher got them. Yeah, we saw them just chomp, 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 chomp.
And the lanternflies?
Yeah, it's a jungle out here.
Even though we have this amazing fence, it's very important to always keep checking on your stuff.
Yeah. So I think he found a new entrance. Margaret said there was a video of him jumping off the roof.
Are you serious?
They caught it on camera. I got nothing. So we just do the best we can.
Yeah.
You got to share a little bit. If that's all he gets, it's okay.
He was hungry.
He was.
All right.
So
I love what you brought today, though.
So this time of year, especially with the heat, these are all deer-resistant plants. We'll touch on some of these this week. We'll touch on more next week.
Yeah.
But more importantly, I want to talk about watering. So with this heat and with what's going on, just some really basic tips for watering. You want to try to water in the morning.
Okay.
So if you can't, you get home and you see your plants are wilty, go ahead and water them at night. But when you go ahead and water, you want to make sure that you're watering the soil. So try to keep the water off the leaves of the plants, especially if you're watering in the afternoon, but even if you're watering in the morning, try to keep the water off the leaves. And you want to make sure, especially if it's really dry, you get a good soak. If you see your plant and the water runs out immediately, that doesn't mean that it's watered. That means that it's so dry that the water is actually running around the plant and through the pot. So that means you actually really need to soak it nice and slow.
Can you overwater though?
You can, but in this heat, you want to water about once a day.
Okay.
If you're watering for a long time, irrigation's where you can get in trouble with overwatering. So if you've got irrigation, you have it set every day for a long time.
Yeah.
That's where you can get yourself in trouble. Or like if you've got a soaker hose and a timer.
Okay.
If you're running it for like a half hour, that's too long.
Okay.
So you want to run it for, for this garden about 15 minutes is great. And then if you got to touch up, if it's super hot, you can go through and then just, spot water as you need to.
Is it too late for any planters right now? Like, is some of this stuff still good? That you brought today that we can still plant?
As you go through, you want to plant, usually the rule of thumb is 85 degrees and above.
Look how pretty these are.
I know, it's portulaca, it's so beautiful. And it's actually drought resistant. And it's deer resistant. So, but if it's 85 and above, I'd kind of, be cautious just because of the amount of water it's going to need. Unless it's rain. We've actually been fortunate this year and have gotten a lot of rain.
Yeah.
So you're in really good shape to plant, actually. And then if it's 85 degrees and above, also, you don't want to spray.
Okay.
So the spotted lanternfly, I think you're good. But try to wait for it's 85 and below.
Okay.
And that's not the heat index, that's just a pure temperature.
It's been so
and then you'll
crazy.
be in good shape. And then next week we'll get to talk about all these beautiful deer-resistant plants.
Yeah, and the grass looks good.
Yeah,
the heat helps with that too.
Yeah,
and
no, it's time. It's actually, we're going to be talking next week also about it's time to feed your grass.
Yes.
Get ready for that, and then
okay.
We'll also touch, if you haven't taken care of your weeds yet, it's still not too late.
That is all next week. Deer resistant, very important. If you have questions you'd like to ask AJ, submit them to foxa.com. Thanks, AJ. He's awesome.